Harry, to begin with, can you just give me a recap of the campaign so far?
Yeah, it's actually my first game because I had a little injury for the first 2 games and I had to have a little operation for the third, so I've missed them, but I've been keeping an eye on the lads and they've started off really well. I think going away to Portugal and Switzerland in the first 2 games was always going to be tough, but to come out of them games with 3 points and a plus goal difference, it was a credit to them. And I think to have a convincing win over Liechtenstein last time around has put us in good stead for these 2 games coming up.
You mentioned you had an injury at the beginning of the season there, but it's certainly not held you back in terms of your club form. You seem to be flying at the moment.
Yeah, when I got that injury, I was very disappointed because I wanted to have a good pre-season to build up into the actual season. But once I had that injury, I was just focused on getting back fit, and now I have been. I feel I'm playing well, I'm scoring goals, so I'm happy with my form at the moment.
And how important is that form and that experience when you come into a camp like this?
Yeah, I think it's always important because if you're playing well and you're in the goals, that gives you confidence. So when you come into the international setup, you bring that with you, and hopefully I can reproduce that on Friday and Tuesday.
And I know you've spoken about wanting to impress Jurgen Klopp. I mean, you certainly seem to be doing that.
Yeah, I think that's always the aim, is to impress the first team manager. I wanted to do that pre-season, but obviously I couldn't because of the injury. So I think if I keep scoring and playing well for the 23s, hopefully my chance will come in that first team.
I know you've spoken about this being your first match in this campaign. 3 away games previously, so how nice will it be to play on home soil both Friday and Tuesday night?
Yeah, it's always good to play on home soil. I think there's always a good crowd when we play at Bangor, and we seem to do quite well there in the past campaign. So hopefully we can reproduce that on Friday and Tuesday and give the fans something to shout about.
And we know names like yourself included, big names now in this under-21 squad. Also a couple of absences because they've been called up to the main squad. How important is it to be able to make that easy transition, that switch?
Yeah, I think I've been involved with the seniors a few times now, so I know what it's like for a young lad to go there, and it's great. I think the senior members in that team always welcome you and make you feel good in and around them. So it's easy to make that transition, but when you're up there, you've got to prove that you're up to the level. So in training, you've got to do well. And I think the manager's shown that if you're good enough, he will throw you in. The likes of Ben, when he came on, he took his chance, and I'm sure plenty of others in the future will do too.
And surely as a young player, that's the ultimate goal, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. To represent your country on the big stage is always the goal growing up. So when that time comes, you've got to make sure you grab it.
And in terms of part of this under-21 squad, how much of an influence do you feel you can be to these teammates around you?
Yeah, I think as one of the older ones now, I think I've been in their shoes when you're the younger one coming in. It can be a bit intimidating at times, but I think as an older one, you've got to make the younger ones feel welcome, feel confident, and I'm sure they've got the quality to come in and do well.
And what's the mood like ahead of this huge weekend?
Yeah, the mood's good. I think everyone's got to know each other over the last couple of days. Training's been good, it's been a good tempo, so we're ready for what's to come on Friday and Tuesday.
And is there a message ahead of Friday night?
I don't think so. I think we'll go out there, we'll try and play well and get the result that we all want.